Hey there guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily and I have a problem. Yes, I have an addiction. I feel like I need slow music behind this right now. I have suffered with an addiction for about a year now, and I have noticed that I've had constant withdrawals whenever I go without it, and I constantly feel the need to have it on me. If I don't have it on, I don't feel like a complete person, and that is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. In all seriousness, the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, as you guys know if you are an avid watcher of my channel, is one of my, if not my all-time favorite primer, hands down, no questions asked. I love having this thing. I have a backup of it in my drawer whenever I run out of this one. And quickly, the Nudestix Nudies has become a favorite of mine as well. This is their tinted blur stick. I've quickly fallen in love with this one as well. It has a similar formulation to the Milk one, except it has a slight little tint to it, so it's perfect if you want to wear it by itself. So that being said, many companies have tried to replicate the blur stick in a way since it launched last year, and there have been countless dupes of it, but there has yet to have been one that has thoroughly impressed me and beat the original OG blur stick. Until Maybelline recently released two of their blur sticks, one in a transparent shade and then two others in a tinted shade, and the minute I saw these on the shelves, I thought these could possibly be a dupe for both the Milk Makeup Blur Stick and the Nudestix Nudies Tinted Blur Stick. So I decided to put my little investigator cap on and test both these out for you guys today, along with some other primers as well that I think are very similar in these primers, except they're not sticks. So I know there's some people out there who are very hypoallergenic and they don't like using sticks on their face. They rather use something that's a little bit more sanitary. So I got some backups for you guys as well. But that is what I'm going to be putting to the test for you guys today. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you can stay up to date and notified when I do upload videos. So we're just gonna ignore the fact that my eyelids are tinted pink because I tried a very pigmented ColourPop eyeshadow and it stained my eyelids, so we're just gonna, slide past that and ignore that. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Maybelline Tinted Blur Stick. This is in the shade Light Medium, and the minute I saw these on the shelves, I immediately thought that this could be a dupe for the Nudestix Nudies Tinted Blur Stick. Nudestix recently launched these as well. These are geared to be a tinted sheer coverage skin tint in a way. You can wear it alone, but you can also wear it as a primer or to touch up your makeup throughout the day. But with the Maybelline one, it's mainly made to be a primer. However, the fact that it has a tint to it, I think it would make for a great skin tint, and it would also stay on a lot longer probably than the Nudestix one since it's made to be a primer. The Nudestix one comes in about $30 at Sephora and Ulta, whereas the Maybelline one comes in at about $9, and you're looking at a very similar comparison in size. The Nudestix one is about 2.16 ounces, that is 6.11 grams, and then the Maybelline one is 0.3 ounces, 8.7 grams. So I'm gonna apply the Nudestix one on the left side of my face, and then I'm gonna do the Maybelline one on the right side of my face and just see how they look as a skin tint instead of using them as a primer. So I know that when I use the Nudestix one, they look like they're putting on a ton of product, but this stuff is so slippery, you guys. It's so thin in its texture that you really aren't using hardly anything. It's very, very light. And I'm just gonna take a damp sponge and just kind of blend it out like this. Since it is a skin tint, I do kind of care about how it looks on the skin and if it's really even. When I use it as a primer, I don't really care because it's going to go underneath my foundation, but we're going to be using this basically as our foundation today. So the Nudestix one does blend out very quickly because I feel like it does have a very slippery texture to it. So I feel like the Nudestix one does blend out very quickly because it does have a silicone base to it. It's very slippery in its texture. So if you're looking for a kind of a nice lightweight, light coverage skin tint that's gonna be really quick and easy to apply and be out the door, this is gonna be a really great one to go for, which is one reason why I've enjoyed using it. And I feel like with this one, you don't even need to worry about kind of concealing underneath your eyes because it is so lightweight. You can kind of bring it up to your lash line. I also don't feel like I need to powder this either. It really does a great job at kind of blurring out my pores, but it leaves a nice skin light feeling to it. It looks like my skin, it feels like my skin. I barely feel like I have anything on there, and all it really did was just kind of even out the redness and get rid of that. I still see a couple of my freckles shining through, but as far as blurring my skin, I feel like it does a great job while still looking like my skin. Almost like I have like a Snapchat filter on. So I'm going to do about the same amount a product with the Maybelline one on this side of my face. And I will say, I have the shade light medium in the Maybelline one. It's just a slight bit darker than light 2 in the Nudestix blur stick. So probably, I want to say about light 3. That's probably the shade comparison I'm looking at. A little bit darker, but I'm hoping since it's very sheer that it'll kind of just blend out into nothing. So right off the bat, first thing I notice is that it's a little bit thicker than the Nudestix one, but it still has a very nice slip to it. It's very slippery. It blends out very, very quickly, but it also is much more matte than the Nudestix one is. The Nudestix one still has a little bit of glow to it. Still looks like my skin, like it's naturally kind of oily a little bit. The Maybelline one has absolutely no sheen to it whatsoever. It is a flat matte. I'm actually really impressed because I feel like this did a lot better job at blurring out my pores, especially around my nose. When I'm looking at my nose, I still see some of my texture and pores coming through on the Nudestix side, but on the Maybelline side, there are 0 pores whatsoever. I'm really impressed by this. I would even say it did a little bit more coverage on the Maybelline side than it did the Nudestix one. I would say if you have really oily skin or you have severely large pores, the Maybelline one is going to be a really great one to go for because not only did it mattify the skin, it also did a lot better job at blurring everything. I'd honestly go with the Nudestix side if you're wanting it to look just like your skin, just perfected, like you have like a little filter on it, whereas the Maybelline one is a lot better, I think, for oilier skin types. It mattifies the skin. If you don't want any shine whatsoever, the Maybelline one's gonna be a great one to go for. And I feel like it would even stay on a little bit longer because it is made to be a primer. I am so blown away right now. I am incredibly impressed. I'm gonna go for the Maybelline one. I think this is a lot better and it looks so much more perfected and just airbrush on this side, honestly. So next up, I have the transparent version of the blur stick from Maybelline, and I thought this would be very similar to the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, which you guys know it's like my all-time holy grail favorite freaking primer in the entire world. Like, I swear by this thing. And one reason that I really love the Milk Makeup one in particular is the fact that it is silicone and dimethicone free. And so in the way that it blurs out your pores is by having micro encapsulated powders in it that kind of burst onto your skin. So it's really non-comedogenic. It's going to be really great if you have problem with dimethicone and silicone kind of clogging your pores after a while. Whereas the Maybelline one, it is silicone, so you are going to have that kind of slippy texture to it. And I will say, just from applying it on my hand, I immediately feel like the Maybelline one is going to be a little bit thicker in texture. It's another reason why I like the Milk one is because it is so thin in its texture. I barely feel like it's there on my skin. You also have the Milk Makeup one that comes in about $36 at Sephora, and then the Maybelline Master Blur Stick at like $9.99 at Target. So you have a huge price difference in the products. For a size comparison, you just get a lot more product with the Milk one. You get a full solid ounce of product with the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, and then with the Maybelline one, you only get 0.3 ounces. So you really are getting a kind of a bang for your buck with either one of the products, really. Also, another big thing to note is that the Maybelline one is white, whereas the Milk Makeup one is this more beige color. And I already have a feeling that the white one from Maybelline is not going to look great on a lot of skin tones, especially darker skin tones. So I'm going to do the same thing and apply the Maybelline one on this side and then the Milk Makeup one on this side. And then I'm actually going to apply my foundation on top of it to see how they look. Normally, I would not apply this primer all over my face, but for today's purposes, I am. And yes, I already feel like it's 10 times thicker than the Milk one. Oh my god. Yeah, this one is just really thicker and almost creamier in its texture, if that makes any sense. And I can feel it sit on my face, which I'm not really a fan of. I don't like feeling these kind of products just sitting there and layering up on it because I feel like it's not going to actually stay on throughout the day and control my oil, especially when it has this creamier texture to it. Now, the Milk one, on the other hand, it's very, very thin. So as I'm applying it, it doesn't move at all. I barely feel that it's there, and it's really quick and easy. So because this side has powder in it instead of silicone and dimethicone, it's a lot smoother. This one, it feels very tacky, whereas this one just has a very thin slip to it. I don't even feel like I have anything on. This one, you can definitely tell it's a lot tackier and a lot stickier. So I'm just going to take my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation and just apply this with my sponge and just see how the foundation kind of sits on my skin. So after that initial foundation application, I honestly do not see that big of a difference. Like, I am shocked at how similar my skin looks. I will say, wherever my skin is kind of dry at, both sides kind of stuck to it. So that is something that I would think about if you have severely dry skin, if you have flakiness, anything like that. That is something I would think about with either one of these products. However, if you have skin that's similar to mine, you have really oily skin or large pores, the Maybelline one does do a great job. However, I don't think that it's going to be fair to people who have darker complexions, or if you don't like that creamy, tacky feeling that the Maybelline one can leave. I will say I would think you just better stick with the Milk Makeup one. If it works for you, I think that it would look amazing and that you don't need to go out and buy the Milk Makeup one. However, in my personal stance and in my personal opinion, I will continue to reach for the Milk Makeup one over the Maybelline one just because of that texture and the way it feels. I'm a texture person and I just can't get past that. So the fact that the drugstore dupes worked out so much better than the high-end counterparts just like thoroughly shocks me. I am so excited about that. But I do want to mention two other primers very quickly that I think are very similar to the primers we tried out today. Both of these are not stick form, and I know some people don't like the stick form primers because they are not really that hygienic. So these are two other primers that I think are very equivalent to them, and I think you guys should know as well too if you have very large pores and really oily skin. One of them being the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. This is one I have used for over a year now. It is really thin in its texture, and I think that it works great if you have super dry skin but you want to be able to use something like the Milk Blur Stick. It's very thin in its texture like that one. It has a nice slip to it, but the thing that I think makes this a lot better for drier skin types is the fact that it has argan and rosehip oil infused into it. I think it's going to hydrate your skin over time as well, but it's also going to smooth out the skin too. So you're going to get that nice blurred finish to your pores, but you're also going to have that hydration that you need for your drier skin. And then I have one for my oily girls. Like, if none of these primers have ever worked for you, you find that they just smooth out your skin, but they don't do anything for controlling your oil whatsoever. My favorite one lately I discovered has been the Sephora Collection Beauty Amplifier Mattifying H2O Gel Primer. This one I was so shocked by how much it mattified my skin. Not only does it do a fantastic job at really blurring out the skin, it also mattifies significantly. It has a gel finish to it, so it's not going to be like anything that has silicone in it, but the minute it is dried down on the skin, you get instant mattification, and it also smooths out the skin completely. Like, there are zero pores to be found on your face when you use this one. I definitely would not recommend this for dry skin girls because it is one of the most mattifying primers I have ever tried. Really does lock down all the oil, and none of it's going to break through throughout the day, while also blurring out the pores as well. And that is about it for me today, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the style of it too. Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to get your feedback. And while you're at it, make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe for future videos. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you are notified when I do upload. I upload weekly, either once a week or twice a week. So make sure you guys have that notification bell clicked to all notifications so you can be notified when I do upload. But that about wraps it up, and I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye!